Welcome to the Working Together Handbook, Team Pro, and this is a personality report on how to work with colleagues. Best explained using a very common scenario. So here we have 6 people who are going to be working together. Now this could be a permanent team, it could be an ad hoc team, it could be some outside contractors and some inside people. But anytime you put a group of people together to achieve a project outcome, then you have effectively got a team. So your challenges are, how do you get this team to work together effectively? So in this case here, we have Alice and Bob and Kate and Sam and Anne and Jane. So the problems start because everybody operates differently depending on their personality type. Our personality affects pretty much everything that we say, think and do. How we process the world, how we process information, how we come to conclusions, how we communicate, all of this is affected by our personality. Now, everybody has a personality type within a sort of certain area, and People Maps represents this on the People Maps map. So each of these 6 people are located somewhere on the personality spectrum, which we illustrate using the People Maps personality map. So you can see by the flags here, each of these flags would represent one of those people in our diagram. Now the challenge that you face here is you have Kate. So in this scenario here, Kate is making a statement and she may be presuming that Alice has agreed with what she is saying because Alice hasn't objected. However, if she understood Alice's personality, then she would know that silence is not the same as agreement. And if we look even deeper still, again, if we just take this one small scenario, where Kate has made a statement or made a recommendation or a suggestion. Sam, he isn't so sure about that, and he wants to know what the consensus is of the group, for instance. So he's looking at Anne, he'll be looking at Alice, he'll be looking to see how Bob feels about this, and he will try and get the feel of everybody's opinion before he wants to form and share his own opinion. And again, if Kate is oblivious to this, she may wrongly assume that Sam is in agreement because he hasn't yet objected. And similarly, you have situations going on perhaps with Bob and Jane, and Bob might be sitting there thinking, actually, I don't agree with this, I have some objections, but Bob might have a personality type that says, I'm not going to voice these in public. I would prefer to go and do my own research before I draw my conclusions on this one. But at this stage, I'm not sure I agree with Kate. And all the while you have Kate, who may be thinking that everybody agrees with her and nobody has objected, therefore they must all agree and therefore will proceed as if everybody has agreed. So this is a very, very common scenario. You've probably experienced it yourself. And this is just one of 1,000 scenarios that can happen as soon as you put a group of people together. So what do you do about it? Well, the very first step, of course, is step 1, which is you need to understand self. So Kate really needs to understand how she communicates, how she processes in the world, what her own personality type is, and therefore how that is received by the rest of the world. And of course, the second step, and this is true of everybody in that group, everybody, including Bob, would need to understand how they interpret and process and work in a group and in a team. And then, of course, the second thing is everybody in that team needs to understand the other people. Now, if you don't have these 2 levels of understanding, self and others, this is going to be a very slow uphill struggle with this team, and it will be a small miracle if it doesn't all fall apart or have a big fallout or make it more difficult than it needs to be. However, with this understanding, everybody can get the result, they can get there quickly and probably much less painfully. So, the kind of things that this report, this personality report, will tell each person, right? This is unique to each individual. So what it will tell Kate, for instance, it will tell Kate who she is, how she operates in the world, and give her a deep insight into her own personality. It will, of course, tell Kate where she resides on the personality People Maps personality map, so she knows at least where her flag belongs. It will also explain how to Kate how she can interact with Alice and how she can interact with Bob. And these will be very different if they have different personality types. Also, communications. Kate would need to modify her communication style with each of these people just slightly in order to be an even more effective communicator. And if Kate is, let's say, and I'm just presuming that Kate is in charge here, then if she has to delegate tasks to each of the people in this group, then she really needs to understand how to delegate effectively and how each of those people likes to be delegated to. And again, if she understands that, then she can become a very effective delegator. Most people are not. And if Bob, for instance, when he's reading his personality report, if he's reporting to Kate, then Bob will be able to read how he should report to Kate, the kind of reports that Kate really responds well to. So if Bob wants to be effective, then it would suit Bob to understand how to report to Kate, if she's in charge of this project, more effectively. And of course, there's a whole bunch of do's and don'ts, and this is for every combination. So, as I said, the challenge that you face is the sheer dynamics that go on in a group. And if we look at this arrow here, you can see that it's not just one-way communications, it's several directions. It's Kate to Alice, it's Sam to Anne, to Kate. It's a whole group dynamic, therefore it gets extremely complex. So it's really easy for small slights to happen and for people to become upset and for problems to arise that can be easily avoided with a little understanding of self and others. Okay, let me quickly show you how the actual control room works. It's very straightforward. So let's go to the control room. So if you log into your account, you'll see something like this, and you'll have your own menu. And let's do it. Let me expand this a little bit. Okay, so the menu typically looks like this. So first thing we want to do is complete the questionnaire. So if we click on questionnaire, and you will see this long URL here. This is unique to you and this account. So if you click on that, it opens the questionnaire, which looks something like this. This is a professional personality questionnaire. It's been used by over 1.5 million people have completed this questionnaire. Thousands of organizations use this questionnaire, and it delivers incredibly accurate results. So the first thing, people need to complete the questionnaire and the registration form, which is a basic name and email address. You can modify the registration form if you like. You can also upload your logo to this page. You can shorten this URL to something a little friendlier if you want. You can even change the wording on that page if you feel you need to. And you can even change and modify the thank you page when people complete it. So you've got complete control over that. We won't go into how to do all that here, but it's pretty straightforward. The next thing you want to do once someone has completed it is you want to view results. So click on view results. You'll see the Working Together Handbook and Team Pro. You may have more than one of these boxes here depending on how many products you have activated in your account. In this example here, there's just the one. So we'll click on the box and it now takes you into the Working Together Handbook where you can click and view a sample. It doesn't consume any credits if you view a sample. And in this area here, if someone has completed the questionnaire, you will see them all listed here. And beside their name and their details are at this side, and over here you will see a link that says click here to view the report. So you just click on view report and it will open up the Working Together Handbook for that individual. You can then save that as a PDF and send it by email to each of the individuals. You have complete control over who gets that. So the reports don't go to the people who complete the questionnaire. The reports only go to the control room here. So the person, the administrator who's in charge of this, has complete control over who gets to see those reports. You can have a look at, there's some more advanced tools. The only other thing to do really is to buy credits, and you can buy them in packs. And you simply come over here, buy a pack of credits, and as soon as you buy them online, those credits are activated. You may, of course, change your password, modify your account details, your name, etc. as well.